Now, earlier we told you that we'll be bringing you some more stories on our big story conversation. Now, academic work has severely been impacted for as many as 3,000 pupils after fire gutted some parts of the Kwashieman cluster of schools at the Ablekuma North constituency. We want to take you there and tell you how the pupils are coping after that devastating fire incident. My colleague Jacqueline and Samayeboa was on ground and now reports.
It's 10:30 a.m. on a hot Wednesday morning at the Kwashieman cluster of schools. Learners are seen loitering, whilst others sit on the bare ground under the scorching sun, waiting for their turn to write exams in a borrowed space nearby.
We are come to write exams, so we should stay.
But so what happened after? Did you write the exam?
Yes.
Which building?
Here at our
But that's not your class.
Block.
That's your class.
No.
This is supposed to be your class.
Yes.
So you wrote the exams.
Yes.
The fire has burned all the books.
You'd all be confined there.
Yes.
And that building is what building?
The teacher's staff.
That's where you'll be at.
Yes.
We are a lot.
For parents, the situation is heartbreaking.
My child attends this school, and I also run my business here. Yesterday, I asked her to take some of my things ahead to school. Not long after, she returned with the items, saying the school building was burnt. At first, I didn't believe her, but other children confirmed it. When we came to the scene, it was heartbreaking. This situation has deeply affected us, especially since the students are currently writing exams. My child is in Form 3, and this disruption is very troubling for us.
I
was deeply saddened by the news. This is government property that has been destroyed, and now the children will be left idle at home. During vacations, they know it's a break, but this is different. They have nowhere to go. With the building they relied on now burnt, what would they do? We urgently need swift intervention to address this situation.
Another parent, visibly distressed, shared how the crisis is negatively impacting her work life. I'm deeply concerned about the children staying idle at home. It could take 2 to 3 months before they are called back to school, which is troubling, especially since they are in the middle of exams and examination fees has already been paid. Now, instead of learning, they'll spend their days playing at home. I have 2 children, and because of this issue, I can't go to work. I have to take them with me everywhere, which has disrupted our daily lives. The education director for the Ablekuma North Municipality, Perry Ofori, painted a grim picture of the aftermath.
That particular block, it contains one primary school at the ground floor. Then there are 2 GHS schools, one on the first floor, one on the second floor. And the ground floor where the fire was started, that place is a library. A very big library, well furnished. And then on top of that one, we have an ICT room, a science lab, and then staff office. You saw the cracks, and even some of the plastering on the wall. A lot of the place has peeled off. So in fact, the building is damaged, and it is. I'm not sure the integrity of it is seriously in question, and so I'm not sure it can even be used again. Yes, it has caused a lot of damage to the building. Yes, if you look at that particular block, it contains 2 JHS, which is double streams, plus a primary school 1 to 6. So we are talking of roughly 1,200 learners where the fire started. But now, because it is a crime scene, as the police are describing, the whole enclave, we have more than 3,000 students on the enclave. That's the number that is out now. And so until they open up the places, we have about 3,000 learners who cannot have their education there on the compound. For the learners, the primary school, we have asked them to go home. Yeah. Right.
Because they were done with it.
They were done, yes. For the JHS who had papers to write, on the field, there's one block there where you saw the learners. So yes, we made that alternative arrangement that yesterday one school wrote their exam. Today, the other school is also writing, and they are writing in batches. So Form 1 gets inside, they finish writing, Form 2 writes, just to make sure that they complete their coursework for the term, and then we can let them go. We're supposed to come back, I think, on the 9th of January. Mm-hmm. But looking at the extent of damage, it depends on how quickly the place can be put in order.
That's like 2 weeks.
Yes.
Roughly 2 weeks.
Yes. And it's supposed to be spearheaded by the municipal assembly. Yeah. So when the assembly will be reconstituted, the new MC and all those things. So I'm only praying that at least something quickly will be done. Other than that, by the time school reopens and the place is still as it is, then we'll have to look for alternative arrangements for the learners, because academic work must continue. They've also been traumatized in a way. They came to school in the morning and coming to see your classrooms like that. So we have to, when they come back, we need to organize some sessions of counseling. Exactly.
Beyond the impact on education, residents living near the school are raising serious safety concerns.
Somewhere around Monday, 11 p.m., thereabout, going into the Tuesday early morning, we heard noise and calls on one of my daughter's phone. That your house is burning, because people from that side of Kwashieman, they were seeing the smoke coming, so they thought it's our house which was burning, not knowing it was rather the school which was burning. So when we rushed out, all we could see was that there was thick smoke coming from the windows and from this side. Yeah, and then also this rubbish.
Yeah, the ballot papers.
Ballot papers. Now I may call it rubbish, but it wasn't rubbish. Yeah. It was burning profusely because there was car ties inside, so it was burning, and all the place was like orange and red color. So we were afraid. We thought really the whole place was burning. So we were trying to find out where to pass. There we saw one policeman coming from here, not knowing there were plenty of them all around.
Surrounded the building.
So there we saw them talking on their walkie-talkies, calling whoever, we don't know. So we wanted to enter, but the door was locked. It wasn't locked with padlock, just some distance. So when we pushed it, it got open. We entered together with one of my daughters. We entered. There we saw that the building was really in flames. From the down to the top there, to the ceiling, and it all over the fascia board was burning. So I started shouting, hey, who must have done this? Hey, then the police also, not knowing, they've also called the fire tenders. So we heard the sirens, people. So I thought,
was all around 11.
Yes. Then I said, oh yes, the fire tenders are coming. A short while now, they all arrived. One arrived inside. They started doing their things. So my daughter was also taking pictures of. So even the firemen, they didn't take pictures. They took from your daughter. And before that call started coming in, my daughter has gone out to buy a hair. So when she was coming, she saw two guys over there. And one other guy, she said, was standing here.
At the entrance here.
So she was afraid because it was dark. Here, this place.
And that was around what time?
It was all around the 11 before. This happened before we came out.
Oh, okay.
She saw those people, the two and one here, and two other macho men.
And that was even before the fire you saw. Okay.
The fire has started. We didn't. She came first.
Okay.
She came first inside before I opened it. So when she came in, she said, "Daddy, I've seen some men around, and one was standing just in front of our house." I said, "Oh, maybe he's waiting for somebody. We sell things here, so we thought maybe he's waiting to buy something." I said, "Oh, don't mind them." So we were inside there. When the first call came, second, third, then we said, "Oh, something might be happening, so let's get out." When we got out, a young guy from that area also came into the house to call us that, "Hey, so when we came out, we saw this, what I first call rubbish,
the rubbish over there.
burning profusely there, burning. So we said, "Hey, thick smoke."
So you said that there were car ties, and I mean it was burnt with car ties.
Mixed together with the ballot papers, being burnt. Then we saw this one also before we entered. And we were even there before the first fire tender came in. So we were all of in a state of perplexity. We don't know what to do. Even at a point when the water got finished from the tender, I have to come and take some 2 buckets, fetch water,
Give them.
so that we put this one off. So we were able to clear this one. So I was just running in and out there. Then the firemen were also doing their work. So that was all we saw. The people we saw, they were unidentified. Not that they have covered their faces.
Yeah, but it was dark.
It wasn't dark because these lights were on. Only they were unidentified. To us, we don't know them.
You're not familiar in this area.
Yes, they are not familiar. If they were to be familiar guys, we could have identified that this guy is among, don't mention my name, but it wasn't like that. These people, we don't know them.
Okay. All right. Now, as a resident of this area, I mean, the aftermath of it, how is it affecting you?
It has affected us in so many ways, both, I don't know, security-wise, we are feeling that we are not safe. Because the people who came, we don't know them. And they can send some other people to come and be making some skirmishes to hear what is going on. Like what I'm doing now. If I may say something which goes, or I mention anybody's name, you know what will happen. So me, I'm not mentioning any names. I don't know them. Totally, really. And God knows I don't know them. That was all. Before the firemen were able to, we were there until they started sacking us.
For now, the fate of the school and its learners hangs in the balance.
The ruins of the Kwashieman cluster of schools stands as a stark reminder of the challenges ahead, not just for the students whose education has been disrupted, but for the entire community that is grappling with safety and recovery. Reporting for Joy News, I'm Jacqueline Ansuma Yaboa.